Hello everyone, welcome to Akira's Academy of Accounting and Finance and welcome to the third chapter, which is Reconstitution of a Partnership Firm. Oh, that is what we studied in the second chapter, right? But what we studied in second chapter, when there is a reconstitution of a partnership firm, when there is an admission of a partner. In this case, what we are going to study about during the retirement or death of a partner. So I hope you have got a hand on the first two chapters. Now you know what is a partnership firm, how a partnership firm is formed. They enter into an agreement to share the future profit and losses, and when they enter into an agreement, they form a partnership deed. When there is any slight change in the deed, that change could be an admission of a new partner, change in the profit sharing ratio, retirement of a partner, or else death of a partner, then they have to reconstitute the whole agreement. Okay, and that is why I say that there is a reconstitution of a partnership firm. Okay, now let's say, like when we studied during the admission of a partner, right? Earlier, let's say there was a piece of a cake, right, which was being shared by two partners A and B, okay, in the ratio of 1:1. That means half of the cake A used to eat and half of the cake B used to eat, whosoever birthdays come, right? But now C enters and now they have to share this cake with whom? With C. Okay, let's say they enter into agreement wherein they share equally, so C will also get one part, like the profit sharing ratio will be 1:1:1, so he is also going to get 1/3 of the piece of the cake. Okay, that is what we studied. So whatsoever belongs to A and B before C enters into the firm, whatever belongs to A and B, they first share it with each other and then they allow C to enter into the business, right, into the firm. Similarly, when there is a retirement or a death of a partner, okay, let's say this is a piece of a cake which was being shared equally by four partners, A, B, C and D, in the ratio 1:1:1:1:1. So every partner used to get 1/4 of the piece of the cake, right? But let's say D got retired, okay, or else he passed away. Okay, so when there is a retirement, when there is a death, till the time he was into the firm, everything belongs to him, but the moment he walks away from the firm, whatever future profit and losses, whatever the cake is they will get, will be shared among whom? Among the three partners A, B and C. Okay, so whatever we studied in this, the same thing we are going to study over here. So what we studied over here, before C enters into the business, what we used to do, we used to adjust everything. Okay, whatever was there was being adjusted between the existing partners A and B. Likewise, there was a revaluation of assets and liabilities. Likewise, there were certain unrecorded assets and liabilities. There was goodwill which they need to write it off. There was accumulated profit and losses, which whatever was there was being earlier shared between A and B, because they were the existing partners, so they need to revalue everything. There were certain profits, there were certain losses. That profit and losses was being shared between A and B in their old profit sharing ratio. Then there was certain goodwill, fictitious asset which was still there, goodwills were still there, that was also being shared between A and B in their old existing ratio. Then they need to revalue everything, because now the assets and liabilities will belong to whom? When the new partners enters into the business, all the assets and liabilities will belong to all the three partners, right? Now, before third partners enters into the business, if there is certain unrecorded assets, certain unrecorded liabilities, they need to revalue other assets and liabilities. If there is a revaluation gain or if there is a revaluation loss, that will also be added or deducted from the existing partners capital amount. Okay, then and then they will allow. See, similarly, till now, whatever belongs to the existing partners, whatever, okay, after the existing partner pass away or the existing partner get retired, then it will be belongs to whom? To the remaining partners. Okay, so before that, whatever till the date when he gets retired or passed away, whatever was there will be shared between all the four partners. Okay, may it be the assets and liabilities which they will revalue. There will be certain unrecorded assets and liabilities. There must be certain goodwill. There must be certain accumulated profit and losses. If at all they have to give interest on capital till the time he got retired, or they have to charge interest on drawing, there are certain losses, whatever will be now divided between all the four partners, and will be a reconstitution of the whole partnership firm, right? In this, what we studied about the sacrificing ratio. Okay, sacrificing ratio. Why we studied about the sacrificing ratio? Earlier, A and B used to get each and everything. Okay, they used to get the profit and losses equally, 1:1, half and half. Now this profit and loss will be shared between whom? A, B and C. Okay, A, B and C. A, B and C. So this part was being sacrificed by A, and this part was being sacrificed by B. Okay, they sacrificed that part of their profit. When C enters into the firm, they sacrifice their part of profit. Okay, this part was sacrificed by A, this part was sacrificed by B, and that is how we will get to know how much they sacrificed their profit to, so that C enters into the business. Maybe both the partners sacrificed, maybe one of the partner must have sacrificed, and then that sacrificed part will be given to whom? To C. But now here earlier the whole profit was being shared between the four partners A, B, C and D. Now when D exits from the firm, okay, so this D's profit, future profit, will be shared by whom? A, B and C. So what happened? They were getting this much of the profit. Now A will get this much more profit, B will get this much more profit, and C will get this much more profit. So what here they will gain. So what we need to identify over here? The gaining ratio. Here we determine the sacrificing ratio because the existing partners are, a new partner is getting admitted into the firm, so they are sacrificing their part of future profits with the new partner. Wherein in this case, the existing partner exits from the business, he goes away from the business. So whatever in the future, whatever profit or losses are there, A, B and C are going to receive, so they are going to gain from his part. Okay, so here we will determine the gaining ratio. But before that, everything, whatever belongs to D, if he has retired, we will give to this retiring partner what we will give, or if he has passed away, we will give the things to their legal representatives. What we are going to give them? Their capital amount, if it is their interest on capital. If he has withdrawn certain amount, so we will deduct interest on drawings. There could be an accumulated accumulated profit, or there could be certain losses, we will deduct that losses. Okay, then there will be a revaluation gain which we will add, or there could be a revaluation loss which we will deduct. So all these things, if there is an existing goodwill, that So all these things, whichever belongs to that particular partner who has retired or who has passed away, we need to give those things to that particular partner. Okay, and now what they will have, A, B and C will have a new profit sharing ratio. They will have a new profit sharing ratio because now D has existed from the business. So this new profit sharing ratio, what it could be, what we need to determine here, the new profit sharing ratio. Likewise, we determine in the case of the admission of a partner. Before a partner comes into the business, there was an existing profit sharing ratio, but when a new partner enters into the business, there was a new profit sharing ratio. Similarly, when a existing partner goes away from the business, A, B and C will have their new profit sharing ratio. Now this new profit sharing ratio could be the same. Okay, it's not necessary that they change. Okay, so it could be the same, 1:1:1. Okay, there could be a change, like then whatever this D's share of profit is there will be shared among the three partners equally. If it is shared among the three partners equally in the ratio of 1:1:1, there's no need to determine the new profit sharing ratio. Okay, because it will be the same. Okay, they are sharing it equally, again they are going to get the same new profit sharing ratio. But let's say they are sharing these profit in different amount, let's say in the ratio of 3:2:1. Okay, let's determine this. Now D, how much profit he was receiving? 1/4. Okay, how much A will get? A, B and C, this much of the profit of D will be shared between the existing partners A, B and C. So this is what, this is their gaining ratio. They are going to gain in the ratio of 3:2:1. When this is the situation, when this is specified that A, B and C will receive in the ratio of 3:2:1 of the profit of D, then we have to determine the new profit sharing ratio. Okay, how we will determine the new profit sharing ratio? How much he is going to get? 3 to 5 plus 6, that is 3/6 of 1/4. How much A will get? 3/6 of 1/4. Okay, how much is 3/6 of 1/4? 3/6 into 1/4, that is 6 4s are 24, right? How much B is going to get? B is going to get 2/6 of 1/4, that is 2/24, and C is going to get 1/6 of 1/4, that is 1/24. Okay, so this is 3:2:1. Okay, now what is this is the gaining ratio. What will be the new profit sharing ratio? New profit sharing ratio, A was earlier getting 1/4, plus he will get how much of D's share? 3/24, that is 4/6 plus 3. 4/6 are 1/6. Okay, I hope now you get this thing. So divided by 24, 6 plus 3, that is 9/24. B, how much B is going to get? 1/4 plus 2/24, that is 6 plus 2 divided by 24, that is 8/24. And C, how much C is going to get? 1/4 plus 1/24, that is 6 plus 1 divided by 24, that is 7/24. Okay, what is their now new profit sharing ratio? 9:8:7. So now how they will share the profit? In the ratio of 9:8:7. This is their new profit sharing ratio. I hope you got this thing. if nothing is specified, that means they are going to share D's profit in the same profit sharing ratio equally, that is 1:1:1. In their old profit sharing ratio, they are going to get the D's share, and this is going to be the new profit sharing ratio. But let's say they are going to receive D's share in the ratio of 3:2:1. This is the gaining ratio. They are going to gain from D's profit in the ratio of 3:2:1. Then what will be the new profit sharing ratio? New profit sharing ratio will be 9:8:7. I hope you get this. This is very easy, right? Similarly, here we determined the sacrificing ratio. How we determined the sacrificing ratio? Old ratio minus new ratio. Okay, old ratio minus new ratio becomes the sacrificing ratio. Earlier they were getting so much, now they are getting less. The new ratio, obviously when there is an admission of a partner, the new ratio will be less, new profit will be profit sharing ratio will be less, so they are sacrificing that much amount of their profit. But when we say gaining ratio, okay, let me erase this. Gaining ratio. How to determine gaining ratio? Here they are going to receive more. Okay, so the new profit sharing ratio will be more, so it will be new profit sharing ratio minus old profit sharing ratio. Okay, that will be the gaining ratio. Okay, understood. Now in this case also there are three situations. The first situation could be nothing is specified, so old profit sharing ratio is equal to the gaining ratio. That is what is the gaining ratio. Okay, nothing is specified means old profit sharing ratio is the gaining ratio. Second situation could be they could have specified, okay, gaining ratio is specified, so you need to determine it, the gaining ratio. Gaining ratio, if it is specified that they are going to gain in the ratio of 3:2:1, that becomes the gaining ratio. And the third situation could be you have been given the new profit sharing ratio and old profit sharing ratio. Easy. If you deduct old profit sharing ratio from the new profit sharing ratio, you will get the gaining ratio. Okay, let's do it with an illustration. Okay, this one. Now let's say the new profit sharing ratio A and B. The new profit sharing ratio is 5:4 and the old profit sharing ratio of A, B and C was 3:2:1. Okay, this was the old profit sharing ratio. C retires. So now the new profit sharing ratio is how much? 5:4. So C's share 1/6, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1/6 was being shared between A and B in what ratio? We will determine it. So A gaining, here we are going to determine the gaining ratio. So A's gaining ratio is how much? The new profit sharing is 5/9 minus the old profit sharing ratio was how much? 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6. 3/6, that is 9 6 54, 5 6 30 minus 6 9, 3 9 27, that is 3/54. And B's gaining ratio is how much? 4/9 minus 2/6, that is 9 6 54. 4 6 24 minus 9 to 18, that is 6/54. So their gaining ratio is 3:6, or we can say 1:2. Okay, so this is the gaining ratio of A and B. Okay, this is the gaining ratio. Now you understood, like when the gaining ratio is given, you have to determine the new profit sharing ratio. When gaining ratio is not given, then you have to assume that whatever is their old profit sharing ratio, that is only going to be their new profit sharing ratio, and that much amount is that much in that ratio they are going to share the profits of their retired partner or the partner who have passed away. Okay, but if at all the gaining ratio is being given, then you have to determine the new profit sharing ratio. And similarly, if the new profit sharing ratio is given and old profit sharing ratio is given, you just need to deduct old profit sharing ratio from the new profit sharing ratio, and you will get the gaining ratio. Now, why gaining ratio is important? Similarly, how it was important when there is an admission of a partner, in the same way it is important when a partner retires or passed away from the business. What is that situation? That situation is goodwill. Okay, that partner was belonging to that firm, right? So he has also earned that kind of a, that firm has also earned that kind of a name or reputation. So whatever name, whatever reputation that firm has earned over the years, that name and reputation belongs to the partner who has passed away. Okay, so that that part of a goodwill we need to share with the partner which has passed away or which has retired. Okay, for that we need a gaining ratio. How to, what will be the treatment of it, we are going to discuss about it in the next video. Till then, you practice this thing. I know it's easy for you, right? Till then, see you in the next video. Bye bye.